This right here may be the last campaign run you ever see me do. Let's go ahead and give Philhound one more time to shine, one last moment in the spotlight. Before we end it all, here we go. Congrats, Philhound. You're retired. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today, if you have Crypt-King Graal, you are in for a treat. We're just gonna have a chill video here. It's just gonna be a nice little casual conversation because I'm not even joking. I've been trying to record videos for the past few hours now, and every video I get tongue-tied, all messed up. So I wanna give you guys a good video. So we're just gonna take this one a little bit more relaxed. Basically, what I've been doing, along with trying to record videos, is getting Crypt-King Graal to solo stage 20 spider or stage 24. Now, the one key thing I wanted to do is make sure he was doing this without any preset AI, because if you're doing dungeon farming, you're most likely doing it overnight, and you most likely don't want your champions to still be in the dungeon max level when you come back, right? So what I've done is made it to where he's gonna be max level going into the dungeon. Everybody else can be just no preset AIs, so I have no preset team, which means I can run RSL Helper overnight, assuming you're using PC. This is not the greatest thing to do if you're using mobile, because you're just gonna be spamming the replay button over and over and over, and that gets annoying, because obviously this is not gonna be the fastest run, about a minute and a half, somewhere around there. No preset AIs, the key thing to this. But you just hit set food, multi-level max HP, set food, load up some numbers here. You can even do auto refill, and then overnight, you're gonna have champions leveling up. You're gonna be getting good silver. I can do a numbers breakdown later on down the road if you guys are interested in seeing that. But as far as like the silver per run, so on and so forth, I don't know if that information is already out there. I've been trying to look for it, but everything I've seen says basically that Spire Stage 20 is the most efficient as far as tournament points, as far as event points, Dungeon Diver points, and the experience we're getting here is not that different from campaign farming. It is gonna be different, it's gonna be longer, it's gonna be slower, but it's not a significant difference. So right here we can see Stage 20 is the best. According to Intelarea.com, Stage 20 is the best and a decent amount more than Stage 25. Stage 20 compared to Stage 25, let's look at the energy cost here. We're talking about Crypt-King Graal specifically today, but this can apply to any solo champion. Spiders is going to be a little bit better than the other dungeons, I think, because useless spider gear is still a big chunk of silver, where useless gear in other dungeons is not as big of a chunk of silver, but still a decent amount, I guess. But stage 25 is 20 energy, and stage 20 is 16 energy. So you can obviously see it's going to be less energy, but you guys already know that. Before we get into too much, let me talk about Crypt-King Graal, about his gear, his build, and his masteries that I've chosen to go with. Basically for his build, we'll look at his individual stuff, but you want regeneration gear. If you can get regeneration plus immortal, it's going to lower the overall stat thresholds a little bit, but just go ahead and mix and match regeneration and whatever else you want. I've chosen perception to get a little bit more accuracy. His HP, about 65,000 is what I've noticed. Defense, about 3,000. Speed, I've done the best at 249, but I've done it lower to like 220, and I've done it even higher, and both seem to work pretty well. If you got more defense and more HP, it's gonna be better. Basically, with not having the AI preset, you gotta time the burns and the freezes differently. So if your Crypt-King is going like too fast or too slow, just adjust it as you can see fit. But these numbers work very, very well, and he seems to be in no danger at all throughout the runs. Resistance, you want about 300 resistance to make sure you're resisting all those little spiderlings. I need to double check their accuracy because you may even be able to get by with a little bit less. Actually, let's go over here real quick before we get too far into this and check, because this document right here actually has all the accuracy stats for the little spiderlings. So I want to make sure I'm giving you guys 100% correct information. The spiderlings, you probably can't see this, but the spiderlings accuracy is 200. So you want about 80. You want about 80 of resistance more than they have accuracy. So about 300 accuracy, and you should be good to go. Stage 20, yeah. So about 300 resistance, and you are good to go. Now, as far as accuracy, you want about 200 accuracy. So 200 accuracy, you should be perfectly fine. I got 261, and we're good to go. Now, as far as master, well, let's look through each one of these pieces of gear so you can kind of see the subsets and how they're rolled. Some people find this valuable, some people maybe not so much. I don't need to glyph this stuff. There's no real reason to. I could go through here and optimize this gear more, but to be honest, Crypt-King, I didn't really have much of a use for him. He's kind of sitting in my vault for a while. This is a really good piece of gear. I know that. I like this a lot. But he was just sitting in my vault for a little while. So I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and get him out, try him out. I booked him up during last CVC. So I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and get him some use. Now the masteries, there's a few things here. One, I did not get Arcane Celerity. I don't want any RNG happening. This could make my runs go a little bit faster, or it could possibly make them fail. I don't really know. Depends on when the turn meter gets boosted, what gets casted next. So I want to go with a little bit more consistency. So Oppressor is going to boost my turn meter whenever I have debuffs placed. He's going to be placing so many debuffs on the spiders. We're going to have a very consistent 10% turn meter boosted to the fill. Master Hexer is going to help as well. Make sure I keep up those debuffs whenever I do place them in case somehow they were to drop off or get close to dropping off. If they get extended, should be perfectly fine. Everything else, pretty simple. Evil Eye, help reduce the turn meter of the big spider. Spirit Haste, we're running with food. We're doing stage 20 with food solo. So we're going to have food dying. So that's something that's very important. As far as the defense tree, extra defense and reduced AoE damage, both of those are very nice. If you need more accuracy, go with whatever you want here. This is what seems to be working pretty well for me. Over here, obviously, more accuracy, more resist. Just pick up those important stats wherever you need. If you have no problem with getting accuracy, maybe just pick up this extra HP. So whatever stats you need the most, you go for those. There's only a few, like I mentioned, that are pretty important. Arcane Celerity, you can even pick that up if you don't have very much speed on your Crypt-King Graal, and it could help you out a little bit. Just know that it may contribute to a little bit more failure runs. So let's go over here to stage 20 of Spider, see how it runs. We'll make sure RSL Helper is doing. Now, I could throw this guy in the lead, make up for a little bit of that lost speed, right? But I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that in this video. He does have a nice HP aura, right? 33% or something like that. While we're doing this run, I want to show you guys a little bit more information as far as the, I guess, amount of experience that you get from campaign versus from these dungeon runs to see, like, you guys can decide if it's worth it for you or not. Obviously, they're going to take longer. I have some screenshots I'll show you. It's going to take up the whole screen though, so we'll wait till after this run's done. But basically, dungeons, you're going to get 29,995 experience total. Campaign runs, you're going to get 34,608 experience total. Now, this is with the 100% experience boost, plus this is going to be divided across however many champions you have. So if in campaign you have 4 champions total, it's going to be that 34,000 number divided across 4. And in dungeons, you're going to have probably 5 champions, right? That's going to be the 29,995 number divided across those 5 champions. So obviously you can see there is a difference. It's not actually a massive difference, but do keep in mind that obviously your campaign runs are going to be a much quicker way to drop energy, get experience quick. So you just got to weigh it out what you're more interested in. Are you interested in having very fast campaign runs where you don't really get a ton of extra stuff besides silver, or having longer runs? Spider, you're going to get a lot more silver from Spider, and you have the chance of getting good artifacts. You're not going to get good artifacts from 12-3, Brutal, right? Those shields, we're all selling those. Nobody keeps those curing shields. This run has been seemingly pretty consistent though. Haven't run it a ton. Like I said, I've only been testing this for the past, feels like forever, but I've really only been testing it for like 2 hours or so. Haven't had any fails with this new build, and it doesn't really look that sketchy either, but you can see 5,999 experience from each person. Look at these images I took. So I took 3 different images. This first image right here is of the exact same run you're just looking at right now. Well, it's not the exact same one, but it's still stage 20 of Spider. So 5,999 experience across everybody, which adds up to, or multiplies up to that 29,995 number. This run right here was stage 24 25 of Spider, still 5,999 experience. So the same thing from 24, 25, doesn't matter, as stage 20. So obviously right there, the amount of experience per energy is already much better on stage 20, right? You're spending less energy and getting just as much experience as you would doing stage 25. So it's already better right there. 20 already wins out. Now this is campaign. So 8,652 across 4 different people. It's going to be that 34,000 number. Now, obviously, Philhound is going to do this in 5 seconds. 5 seconds compared to 1 minute and 28. I could do a ton of runs with Philhound in that amount of time. But 11,000 silver, 9,760 silver, but we sell this for 60,000 silver. So obviously, the silver differences are massive. So it really just comes down to, as far as like if it's worth building these champions. First, this is going to be more efficient as far as doing dungeon divers, tournament points. Both of these, this is going to be more efficient. You go down here, stage 20, this is going to be the best flat out. So if you're looking for champion training plus dungeon divers plus tournament points plus spider points all in the same time, this is going to be perfect. This is a perfect way to get, I guess, a lot of birds with 1 stone. I guess it's typically what, 2 birds with 1 stone, but you're downing all kinds of birds with 1 stone. So keep that in mind. We can jump into this more, give a more detailed explanation if you guys are interested, but the Crypt-King Graal solo build isn't that crazy, and I'm not going to be using him anywhere else, I don't think. Spider is like his home. He's like perfectly designed for Spider, and not having the AI preset allows you to go into things like RSL Helper, set this to run overnight, and just constantly be cycling through food. It's not going to be as fast as campaign. You may have to run this overnight to get these champions fully to level 40, but whatever it is, you're still going to be getting a bunch of experience. You're going to possibly getting some really good gear because remember, stage 20 was the highest level dungeon for a long time in the game. I feel like with stage 24, 25, those two specifically released, people are kind of looking at stage 20 like, oh, it's not that great anymore. But in reality, it's still not bad because while you do have a higher percentage chance to get better gear drops from these ones down here, stage 20, that was a stage everybody worked off of for the longest time. So just keep that in mind. I think I will be doing some more of this. Probably no more campaign runs, to be honest, or very few campaign runs, just my daily energy, whatever it is, my daily campaign quests. But besides that, I don't really see much of a reason to do campaign. I mean, I have plenty of mystery shards. I don't really care about those anyways. 903. We're good for those for a little while. So running dungeons, running spider, just whenever I need to level up champions, whenever I need to drop some energy, should help my silver start climbing up more and more because man, oh man, silver is an issue in this game for sure. But there you go, guys. If you all want to see some more champions who can solo different dungeons, definitely let me know down below. If you guys want a more detailed breakdown, like the math behind, is it actually worth it? Let me know as well. I can try to get some of that stuff brought up, put together if you guys are interested. But like I said, Crypt-King, not a crazy hard build, depending on, I guess, on your count and your gear, but I didn't struggle with this one too much. Granted, I do have a good banner here. The last solo champion I made, I didn't have the same stuff. So there you go, guys. Solo Crypt-King Graal. Hopefully you found that video informational. Hopefully it was helpful. And thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.